Hi, I'm Wes Allen with DM Tales, and last week at one point, as I was sipping some coffee, I opened up my YouTube studio and discovered that I had broken the 4,000 subscriber mark. That made me so psyched, and I am so happy about that. Now, I have got some shout outs to make in this video, but be sure to stick around until the end to learn how you can join my celebratory giveaway. Let's roll it. When I first started DM Tales over 4 years ago, I had no idea what it would become. I figured I'd share some stories, my friends would get a chance to laugh at some of their antics, and maybe, if I was lucky, I'd share a video or two that some folks would find helpful. But wow, what a journey this has been. I got to interview some amazing creators. I've made a bunch of friends. I've been able to go to a couple of conventions, and I've been able to meet some of the incredible people who make the tabletop role playing game hobby such an amazing thing. I've even held my own convention, but more on that in a bit. I just need to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to everyone who watches the channel and has not forgotten to like, comment, and subscribe. Even you, King Eric the Greatest of All, for all your wacky comments on my live streams. A thank you to all my coffee contributors who support this channel and help keep me doing what I'm doing. Thank you to the folks who have come on DM Tales to chat with little old me. There's too many of you to list, but if you go here, folks, you can see the playlist of all the people who have been on DM Tales for a live stream for my skipping lunch segments. You can see that for yourself. And thank you to all the folks who have played with me at tables, both physical and virtual. Folks, without you, I've got nothing to talk about. So thank you so much. Thank you to the friends I've made through this channel, for Dan, Jacob, and Dave Ward from Avenue Studios and Grimwood Games, respectively. You are awesome, and without you, conventions would be nowhere near as much fun as they are. For Great Mustache, thank you for coming along for this ride, for your support of EcclesiaCon. And I cannot wait to see the D6 version of Open Legend out in the open for everybody to play. Scrat, what do I say about you? You're a squirrel. Your game is nuts. For Dave from Gamers on Games, you offer me more kindness than I deserve. Thanks so much. John Fredericks from Sharp Mountain Games, I can't express how much I appreciate your friendship and the kindness you've shown me. I love to talk with you. I love to hang out with you in person and online. Thank you so much. For Derek White, aka the Geek Preacher, thank you for all the work you do, for the kindness that you show to folks, and for being my Gamehole Con roommate. I'm looking forward to that a lot, Derek. For Elise, you came to the first EcclesiaCon wondering if you'd be welcomed, and I'm so glad you believed me when I told you yes. It has been amazing over the last year and change to keep up with all you've been doing in this hobby, and I am psyched that you took the plunge to become a GM. I knew you would, and I knew you'd be awesome at it. And Ron, the brains behind the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, thank you for all your help as I stepped into the unknown territory of planning a convention. EcclesiaCon would not be what it is without your help. Thank you. And speaking of EcclesiaCon, thank you to everyone who has helped make it such a fun time and allowed us to do some good with our hobby, which is so important to me. A huge shout out to the GMs, to the volunteers, the staff, the people who didn't know they were staff. There are a few of those. The special guests, the vendors, the sponsors, and all the players. I cannot wait to do this all again with you May 1st and 2nd of 2026. Thanks also to some of my fellow Dungeon Tubers and TTRPG creatives who have been such an encouragement to me. Jorben from Elder Goblin Games, Tanner from Paladin Pros. You invited me to sit at the cool kids table at PAX Unplugged. That was really kind of cool. I was fanboying a little bit. Todd from Hexpress, you're amazing. Thanks for coming down to EcclesiaCon and running a stream this year. For all the folks at Cypher Unlimited, because you're just awesome. Preston from the Nintendads, I love seeing you at all my events. I'm really glad our kids go to school at the same school. For Bruce Bowen from Hounds and Jackals, I am so grateful for your support and encouragement for this project that I'm beginning to work on for my sabbatical. Really grateful for the resources you're throwing my direction. For the Dungeon Minister, because, well, you're just the Dungeon Minister and I love you. For Heather Ashcroft, aka Valley Girl Heather, you are just so much fun on TikTok. I love your TikTok. I love your presentation. I love your content. It was so much fun to meet you at Page last year. Looking forward to doing it again. Also, want to thank all the folks who looked at me and thought, I want him to review my game. I don't want to forget anybody. That's a real concern that I have. So I'm not going to try to list all the folks that have given me review copies. Just know that I'm grateful to everyone who has sent me anything for review. And I am thankful, especially for the folks who are being patient as they wait for me to get to their stuff. I am going to read everything. I'm trying to read everything. I will get to it. It's just going to take a little bit of time. I also have a couple of shout outs to some folks who made me feel like DM Tales was something worth doing almost from the start. First, you got Martin from Daddy Rolled a One. First, Martin, you are one of the kindest people I've encountered through the TTRPG social media sphere. That is really cool. I love it when we get to catch up. Second, I will never forget you reaching out to see if I'd accept one of your t shirts and give you a shout out on my channel. That blew me away. And now look around and you've leapt way past me on YouTube with your amazing retrospectives on the hobby. For anyone who's interested in the history of tabletop role playing games, you are now a must watch channel. That is incredible, and I hope you are so proud of what you've accomplished. For Chris Gonerman, the man behind Basic Fantasy RPG, the community you've made, the integrity you've shown managing it, and the kind words you've shared on any video where I've seen Basic Fantasy RPG mentioned, as long as they're being fair, they all mean a lot to me. BFRPG remains one of my favorite games and communities. I am grateful for what you've helped create. I am even more grateful for you as a person. One day I hope I'm going to get to shake your hand in person or give you a fist bump. I'm looking forward to it. Kelsey Dion, the Arcane Librarian. Every time I've been in contact with you, for numerous reasons, you have gone above and beyond. And that's not because of me, that's because of who you are. And that's something that anyone who's met you will echo. And I know you just well enough to understand that you're probably terribly embarrassed with that type of compliment and shout out, but just take it because you're amazing. And the encouragement that you personally sent me when I was working on a project proposal last year meant so much to me that I printed out your email, which is something I never do, and it is still displayed in my workspace/studio. Thank you, Kelsey, for being you and being a great and encouraging voice in this hobby. Then you got Doug Shute, Transformers obsessionist and victory condition gamer. Now, I have said this many times on this channel, and I will keep doing it because it is something which has stuck with me. Your insistence that I was not a nuisance to creators when I asked to speak with them or review their games was a much needed wake up call. And had you not given me that wonderful smack upside the head, I'd have never reached out to the good folks at publishers like Monty Cook Games or Chaosium because they were big and awesome and great, and I was teeny and insignificant, and you told me how wrong I was. You also personally got me connected with the folks at Free League. So thankful for that. You introduced me to Rico and Simone from Two Little Mice and Luke Stratton from Limithron. Just incredible people I'm so glad to have connections with. Doug, thank you for your friendship. It means so much to me. You are awesome. Okay, that is a lot of name drops. And if you might be thinking at this point, oh, he's just dropping names. And, I probably would be thinking the same thing myself at this point. But let me point out something. Here is the thing. Playing tabletop role playing games is about making friends and telling stories. And many of the folks involved in this industry, that's game designers, publisher, dungeon tubers, event organizers, and folks who consider themselves just players, which is silly because there is no such thing as a just player, they recognize this goal of the hobby and they encourage it. So the connections I've made say less about me as they do about the hobby in general. It is meant to create connections between people. I've just been fortunate to do it this way, to spend the time to learn how to do it, to find time to eke out in my schedule to make these videos and make these connections through DM Tales. And none of this is to say that the TTRPG hobby is this perfect welcoming space, because it's not. Anytime you get a bunch of humans doing anything together, there are going to be bad actors involved somewhere. You do not have to dig that deep to uncover some in this hobby. But the majority of folks, in whatever way they're involved in TTRPGs, are just looking for the connection that being part of a shared story creates. I think that's amazing. I am glad, I am humbled that I get to be a small part of helping those connections form. really small part. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this cool journey that is called DM Tales. Here is to the next 4,000 subscribers. All right, to celebrate this milestone, I am giving away this copy of the second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. And in order to win it, you need to leave a comment that begins with, "My favorite TTRPG is." Be sure to type it in exactly like this because that's how I'm filtering the comments for the entries. And if you put it slightly differently, you're going to miss out on your chance to win this. So get in the comments, share with me what your favorite TTRPG is, and earn a chance to win this book. I'm going to leave entries open for just about a week, and I will announce the winner sometime early next week in a live stream. Folks, thank you again. From the bottom of my heart, this has been absolutely amazing. And until we see each other again, happy playing, everyone.